Dramatic escalation is unfolding across the Middle East as Iran's military launches a new wave of missile and drone attacks targeting U.S. and Israeli-linked positions throughout the region. The strikes come amid a widening war that began in late February following a massive U.S.-Israeli offensive against Iran, triggering Tehran's large-scale retaliation under what it calls Operation True Promise 4. The growing confrontation has now stretched from Israel to the Persian Gulf and beyond, raising fears that the conflict could spiral into a broader regional war. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps announced the latest phase of its campaign with coordinated missile and drone attacks on several U.S. military installations in the Gulf region. According to statements released through Iranian state media, the IRGC claimed the strikes targeted major American facilities in the United Arab Emirates and Kuwait. Iranian officials say the attacks were designed to damage critical military infrastructure and disrupt U.S. operational capabilities in the region. The IRGC said the operation involved large-scale combined attacks using new-generation missiles and drones directed at American positions across the Gulf. One of the primary targets was Al Dhafra Air Base in the United Arab Emirates, a key hub for U.S. air operations in the region. Iranian officials claim that precision missiles and drones struck several important facilities at the base. According to the IRGC statement, the strike destroyed an advanced early warning radar system, hangars used to maintain MQ-9 drones, and installations associated with U.S. reconnaissance aircraft such as the U-2. Iran also reported launching heavy missile attacks on Ali Al Salem Air Base in Kuwait, another installation hosting American forces. Iranian military sources said the strikes damaged radar systems, fuel storage infrastructure, and sections of runways used by U.S. aircraft. These claims have not yet been fully independently verified. However, regional security analysts say Iranian retaliation has increasingly targeted American military infrastructure across the Gulf, where several countries host U.S. bases and logistical facilities. Authorities in the United Arab Emirates confirmed that some incidents occurred as a result of falling debris after air defense interceptions during the attacks. Officials said fragments from intercepted missiles and drones landed in parts of Dubai, causing limited damage but no immediate casualties in that particular incident. The Dubai media office released a statement explaining that emergency services quickly responded and that the situation had been contained. Officials also rejected rumors circulating online about a direct strike on Dubai International Airport. However, the border security situation prompted immediate disruption to aviation. The national airline Emirates announced that all flights to and from Dubai had been suspended until further notice as a precautionary measure. Meanwhile, authorities in Qatar issued heightened security alerts, advising residents to remain indoors amid fears that additional strikes could occur. Despite strong air defense responses, Iranian missile and drone attacks have still caused casualties in the WUA. According to official figures, 3 people have been killed and dozens more injured since the strikes began. Many victims were foreign nationals living and working in the country. One of the most significant developments in the conflict involves the reported destruction of a major U.S. missile defense radar system in Jordan. According to reports citing American officials, Iran managed to destroy a high-value radar installation worth roughly $300 million. The radar, part of the U.S. Terminal High Altitude Air Defense Missile Defense Network, plays a critical role in detecting incoming ballistic missiles and guiding interceptor systems. Satellite imagery reportedly shows that the radar and supporting equipment located at Muwafaq Salti Air Base in Jordan were destroyed in the early days of the war. The system was considered a key sensor in the region's integrated missile defense architecture. Without this radar, the ability to track incoming threats and coordinate interception could be significantly reduced. THAAD systems are designed to intercept ballistic missiles at extremely high altitudes, often at the edge of the atmosphere. These interceptors can engage more complex threats than shorter-range defense systems such as Patriot batteries. With the radar reportedly out of commission, responsibility for missile interception in the area may increasingly fall on Patriot missile systems. However, analysts warn that stocks of Patriot interceptors, particularly the advanced PAC-3 variant, may already be running low as the conflict intensifies. Iranian officials have presented the destruction of the radar as a major success for their military. If confirmed, the strike would represent one of the most effective Iranian attacks against U.S. missile defense infrastructure during the war so far. A THAAD battery is a complex system involving around 90 personnel, multiple truck-mounted launchers, dozens of interceptor missiles, and a sophisticated radar network. Each interceptor missile costs approximately $13 million, while an entire THAAD battery can cost around $1 billion to deploy and maintain. In addition to the radar reportedly destroyed in Jordan, other radar installations across the region have also reportedly been damaged during Iranian strikes. Earlier in the conflict, a long-range early warning radar in Qatar was also reportedly damaged. That radar was designed to detect missile launches over vast distances, though it lacked the precision needed for direct targeting. The intensity of the missile exchanges has raised concerns in Washington about the availability of advanced air defense interceptors. According to reports, defense contractors, including major manufacturers such as Lockheed Martin and RTX Corporation, have held meetings with U.S. officials at the White House to discuss accelerating weapons production. The Pentagon is reportedly seeking ways to increase manufacturing capacity for missile defense systems as interceptors are rapidly consumed during the conflict. Analysts warn that modern air defense networks can quickly deplete missile stockpiles during sustained warfare, particularly when faced with large barrages of drones and ballistic missiles. Iran's strategy appears to rely heavily on overwhelming these systems with sheer numbers. Iran has formally named its retaliatory campaign Operation True Promise 4, a reference to previous Iranian missile operations against Israeli targets. In recent days, the IRGC has announced multiple waves of missile strikes under this operation. According to Iranian state media, the 22nd wave of attacks began on Friday afternoon. The strikes were reportedly launched under the code name Ya Hussein ibn Ali. Iranian officials say the missiles targeted Israeli and American-linked facilities across the region. The IRGC claims the latest barrage included several types of ballistic missiles. Among the missiles reportedly used were the Khorramshahr 4, K-Bar, and Fatah missiles. Iran says these weapons were fired toward strategic targets in Israel, including locations around Tel Aviv. Other reported targets included Ben Gurion International Airport and military installations near Haifa. Iranian officials claim that one of the missiles used in the attack, the Khorramshahr 4, is an ultra-heavy missile capable of carrying a 2-ton warhead and reaching speeds exceeding Mach 14. Israel's military has confirmed that missiles were launched, but says only a limited number penetrated its layered air defense system. Sirens were heard across Tel Aviv as air defense systems activated. Israeli authorities said civilians could leave bomb shelters once the immediate threat passed, though they were advised to remain near protected areas. The missile attacks occurred amid continued Israeli airstrikes against Iranian targets. According to Israeli officials, the Israeli Air Force has conducted thousands of strikes across Iran during the conflict. Reports indicate that more than 6,000 munitions have been dropped during these operations. Israeli leaders say the strikes are aimed at degrading Iran's missile capabilities and military infrastructure. Israel's military leadership maintains that the campaign is ongoing. An Israeli general said the military had already destroyed a large portion of Iran's air defenses, but warned that the threat remains. We are now moving to the next phase of the operation, the Israeli army chief said. We have additional surprises ahead amid the escalating attacks. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu convened an emergency security meeting with top officials. Those present included senior ministers and military leaders responsible for national security and defense. Footage released by Israeli authorities showed Netanyahu meeting with security chiefs and cabinet members to review the situation. The Israeli government says it is closely monitoring developments. As missile strikes continue across the region, the war has now spread across multiple countries in the Middle East. Iranian missiles and drones have targeted locations not only in Israel, but also in Gulf states hosting U.S. military forces. Several countries, including the UAE, Kuwait, Jordan, Bahrain, and Oman, have reported either direct strikes or intercepted projectiles crossing their airspace. The conflict began after a joint U.S.-Israeli attack targeted Iranian military and nuclear facilities in late February. Tehran responded almost immediately with missile strikes on Israel and American bases throughout the region. Casualties have been reported across several countries involved in the conflict. In Israel, Iranian missile attacks have killed several civilians and injured dozens more. Some strikes have caused damage to residential areas and infrastructure. In Gulf states, many injuries have resulted from debris falling after missile interceptions. Even when projectiles are destroyed in the air, fragments can still cause significant damage on the ground. The scale and geographic spread of the conflict have raised serious concerns among international observers. Analysts warn that continued missile exchanges could push the Middle East toward a wider regional war involving multiple nations. Global leaders have called for restraint and diplomatic efforts to prevent further escalation. However, both sides appear determined to continue their military campaigns. Iranian officials have warned that additional strikes are likely if attacks against Iran continue. The IRGC emphasized that its operations are ongoing. Retaliatory operations will continue, the IRGC said in its latest statement. Enemies should expect further decisive surprises on the battlefield. The fighting has already disrupted international air travel and raised concerns about global energy markets. Oil prices have surged as tensions threaten shipping routes and energy infrastructure in the Gulf. Airlines have rerouted or canceled flights across parts of the Middle East due to the ongoing missile exchanges. Security experts warn that if the conflict continues to escalate, it could destabilize the entire region. For now, the world is watching closely as Iran, Israel, and the United States remain locked in an increasingly dangerous confrontation.